It's just a public service announcement. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pro Sports Takes, where we make our takes on the future of sports.
And this is PSO's first show, so we're coming out to make statements, not sentences. On this platform, we plan on elaborating on why the biggest topics in sports can affect the near future of the game. At the end of the day, we're not here to be conservative or make safe takes, but to make bold predictions that are actually likely to happen.
All right, today is MLB opening day, so we're going to go with another baseball take, and no player is more important in baseball than the most valuable player. But in a 60-game season, who's going to be the MVP this year? That's the question we're going to answer today. And as you can see from the title, this is all about a player who very few would consider an MVP candidate. In fact, according to BetMGM, this guy isn't even a top 50 National League MVP candidate in 2020.
It's about to be a hot take right here.
And this is why BetMGM is going to look real stupid in a few months, okay? Ever since arriving in the National League, Nick Castellanos has quickly developed into one of the best hitters in baseball. Before, he was a doubles machine in Detroit, and all he's needed to do is turn those doubles into homers, and he'd instantly become one of the most feared hitters in the game. So how can a player turn doubles into homers? By getting stronger and adding loft to their swing. And no team in baseball is better known for getting stronger than the Cincinnati Reds, who love to show their guns in the sun and drop bombs. Castellanos joining that environment cannot go underrated, along with the fact that he'll now likely be getting plenty of days at the DH position where he can solely focus on offense and, not have to think about that error he just made at third base or an accurate throw from the outfield anymore. Puts him really in a great position to have a breakout season. And he's already hitting tanks in summer camp for those who've seen the video of Trevor Bauer and others, and really has just shown a much improved launch angle. So with a top prospect pedigree and someone who seemed always destined to be a silver slugger candidate at least, these 60 games could really give him the perfect opportunity to put it all together and compete for the MVP award while giving Joey Votto and Eugenio Suarez some much needed protection in the lineup and help this promising Reds team win some ball games this year. This is a season where any team can win it all and any player can win the MVP, understandably. But my take before opening day kicks off is that Nick Castellanos will end up being a premier MVP candidate this season.
Yeah, I think the DH factor is huge, especially since he was primarily a DH when he was playing in Detroit. So he doesn't really want to have to worry about fielding, which must not be his strong suit based off what he's done in his career. And I think he has the potential to produce power like Eugenio Suarez has recently in the last 2 years in Cincinnati. And Suarez might be a better MVP candidate for this season, especially if he cuts down on the strikeouts, which he led the league in 2019 in. But from what I've seen, he really has the tools to succeed. But with that website not considering him a top 50 MVP candidate, I think you said it was BetMGM, that's very baffling. It's not a no-brainer that he is top 20 player, but top 50, especially in only the National League. BetMGM could be losing a lot of money soon. And when you really think about it, over the last 34 years, there's only been 4 pitchers in the MLB that have won MVP, so that's looking very unlikely. Castellanos really heated up once he got traded to Chicago in the middle of last year. And there's a lot of good hitters in the NL, so it's going to be tough for him. There's the likes of Bellinger, Yelich, Acuna, Alonso, Soto, Freeman, Nolan Arenado, and let's not forget Justin Turner, who's on a contract year going into 2021. The Dodgers are a consistent playoff team, so he'll be more eligible to win the award than players on losing teams. Turner's going into a contract year this year. And Turner's been looking good this summer, so he's ready to go into the season hot. And this is only a 60-game season we're talking about. So if he comes out and outplays Cody Bellinger, who was a 2019 MVP, it'll be really hard for evaluators to deny that Turner's providing elite value to one of the best teams in the National League and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, Justin Turner's a good pick too. I mean, both these guys I think you want to pick up on your fantasy league this year, if not already, because these are both sleepers. I guess that's your sleeper pick, which is a very solid one. What is Justin Turner's odds? I guess we'll just use BetMGM to use a standard.
Yeah, Justin Turner is at plus 8,000.
Plus 8,000. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like he's tied with a couple of guys. Reese Hoskins, Ozuna, Rio Muto, Trey Turner, Josh Bell. So a good amount of guys.
Okay, and then Castellanos isn't even on the list. So definitely potentially some money to be made. You know, whether you believe Castellanos or Turner could be that surprise breakout candidate for MVP, I think the underlying message that both of us are trying to get across is that don't bet on the favorite to win MVP this year. Like, there's a lot of unexpected things that are likely to happen this year, and taking one of those guys that are just plus 200 or plus 300 or 500, whatever, those are probably not going to be bets that become very fruitful, because this is going to be one of those years where a surprise guy who isn't even considered top 50 ends up winning the award. So we'll see how it plays out, but I really believe that Castellanos, with everything that he's done so far in summer camp, the way he's looked, the way he can fit in with that Reds lineup, I really see him elevating his game this year and becoming and solidifying himself as an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I think Justin Turner has a chance. Really, when you think about a 60-game season, the MVP could wind up hitting 18 home runs and having 55 RBIs. I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, really it comes down to how these players come out at the beginning of the season, and if they can maintain it for even 45 games could really be enough to actually win MVP this year.
Yeah, that's why even just watching these summer camp games is so crucial, because we were kind of talking about this off the record, but just seeing guys go to spring training in the past, they're playing at a whole different place, whole different stadium, living in a different environment, playing against players who are probably going to be called down to AAA and obviously not getting the same level of competition. Whereas this year, they're playing in the exact same ballpark, exact same no-fan type of atmosphere. So it's like what you're doing now is probably going to be a sign of what you're going to do in the season. And both those guys, Turner and Castellanos, have looked really good so far in summer camp. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But BetMGM got something coming for you.
Yeah.
So lock it in. That's our take for the day. And you can find all Pro Sports takes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or wherever you're listening to this right now, or even better if you're watching this on Pro Sports Outlook's YouTube channel.
And instead of just listening or watching, get involved yourself and leave a comment on what player or what team you want us to make a take about. You can tweet us at PSO_sports, and you can use the hashtag ProSportsTakes. And we'll go through all those and see if we can add some knowledge to the subjects you like.
See you tomorrow.
See y'all.